So thank you very much, everybody, for joining our first International Digital Twin Conference. What you're watching here is the second thread of the program. There are 3 threads in the program. The previous thread was early this morning, our time, Toronto time, and was a wonderful session looking at the details of the solution and defining some of the digital twin parameters as well. And we're embarking on, as we embark on the second thread, what we're trying to show people or help people understand is what digital twin opportunities, the solutions, the challenges, and look at it from an international standpoint. So looking from Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and North America. And we each have perspectives in this space, and those perspectives, what we're hoping to do is to knit those perspectives together at the conclusion of the conference and establish something of a community of people who are connecting. I think we managed to do that pretty well this morning already with the first session. So I'd like to also point out we have a dedication here. So Dr. Peter Woodgate unfortunately passed away. He and I cooked up this idea of this crazy conference, and he was an enormous champion of the conference. And he was also a particular friend and very respected cooperator. He was heavily involved in the spatial industry throughout Australia and internationally, and he's sorely missed. So we're dedicating this conference to him. We have a few rules we ask that people pay attention to. Please stay on mute. I have muted all, but I've left it so that you can unmute if you have a question or something you'd like to come online with. Questions, if you're not familiar with Zoom, there's a place where you can hit chat. We're looking for people to put questions and comments into the chat. The previous session this morning was very active in chat. There was all kinds of interesting comments, and there's quite a bit of a community conversation going on. We also want to, we're also looking for comments. The conference is being recorded. It's our intention to push this conference probably into social media somewhere. So if perchance you missed this, there will be a URL sent out to the registrants, and you're welcome to watch the recording. The program for this morning, there's a brief welcome from me, and then I will stay on with Jeanette, my partner in crime here. And we're going to walk through, we've set this up as a story. So we're going to walk through a bit of a story here. So the very first session will be us talking about digital twins in finance, and in particular, a POC, a proof of concept that we've built that actually works. And we'll talk a little bit about what we learned from that and, what we're asking of the digital twin community. Now, my friend Peo will follow us, and he's delving into a bit more detail, particularly from the standpoint of the knowledge graph, which is behind the digital twins that we worked on. So he's intimately aware of what we did with the POC, and he's going to open up that space a bit more for us. And then he's going to pass that on to Professor Michael Gruninger, who's going to look at the ontology structure that we used to put rigor into the digital twin that we put together. Then we have, continuing that story after the break, we have another session talking about agricultural digital twins, because no secret here, the digital twin in finance that we put together was in the agricultural space. So this continues the story a little bit further. Then we have a presentation from Cameron from Adastra talking about starting points and success stories. And then we close off the main part of the presentations with a presentation from the University of Central Florida, David Metcalf, who's going to talk about the combination of technologies in this space. And then we're privileged to have a paper presentation to close the stream off. And Dahong has a paper, and Dahong was one of the people who worked on the digital twin in finance POC. So we've neatly closed the loop on the scenarios there. I should also point out there's a little bit of technological and conceptual difference between the threads that we put together. So the first thread this morning was full of experts. The second thread that we put together here is a bit more along the application stream, actually using the technology. Our observation has been that the technology is not as well picked up in North America as it is in UK, Australia, New Zealand. And we think that's lamentable. And we've tried to correct that with the POC that we put together here in the bank. But hopefully this conference will also help people pick up on the technology and see its potential in North America. That's all I have to say, and we can probably start a little bit early on our session. But given that this is a thank you slide, I also want to express thanks to the organizing committee. You know who you are, and if you're curious about the organizing committee, they're highlighted in the speaker section of the website. And also a special thanks to Jeanette, who has spent countless hours helping update our website, and behind the scenes right now is probably looking for new registrants and making sure that they get the links and so that the whole thing works. So huge thanks to Jeanette for that.